Hope you are able to see my screen. Okay. Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining the webinar on SAM for Engineering Software. I am Ashish Sharma, Senior Solution Engineer at OpenLM. In today's session, I will be discussing on technical aspect of the server and license file, which is very important for managing engineering software license. I will also provide a brief overview on how OpenLM can simplify these tasks. Please feel free to ask questions or drop them in the chat. Me on my team will address during the Q&A session. So, why organization practice SAM? Okay, one of the primary reason organization practice SAM is to avoid the risks and penalties associated with the software audit. Why do publishers conduct audits? Audits are performed to ensure that the software and organization has purchased is installed and used in accordance with the license agreement. It is the organization's responsibility to ensure the compliance with these terms. Engineering software can be very expensive, so proper management of the software license help the organization in overspending on the licensing purchase, make informed decisions about the software investment. Nowadays, license management is becoming more complicated as publishers are moving towards cloud and subscription licensing. Apart from the network and device-based license, which we used to have earlier, okay, now software license is also based on the site. It can be a global number of features. It's also available as a named user. So a lot of complexity. So in this session, we are focusing on license manager for the network license. So let's discuss how engineering software license work. Mostly I will be focusing on the network license. Okay, so when a user attempt to open an engineering software application, a request is sent to the license server. The license server checks if there are available license in the pool. If license is available, the server grant the license and grant the request and allocate the license to the user. If no license are available, the request is denied and the user may receive a message indicating no license are available and the user will wait for the license availability. Now we'll go deeper into the license manager. Let's an example of FlexLM license manager, which is widely used by most of the publishers. FlexLM license manager major components are LMGDR, okay, which is a license manager daemon, which handles the communication between the software application and the vendor daemon. Vendor daemon, vendor daemon is specific to the software vendor. It manages the actual license. You can take an example of Autodesk vendor daemon. It will be ADSK Flex. For SolidWorks, it will be SolidWorks SW_D. For PTC, it will be PTC_D. Okay, these are the example of vendor daemon specific to the software vendor. License file. It is a file contain the licensing information, including number of available license, expiry date of that feature, and the other licensing term. It have the component is FlexLM having a component called log file, which is very important. It records event related to the license management, such as license checkout, check-in, denial, or any error. Or you can say it provides a detailed history of all license activity. Option file. It is an optional file. It used to control the license allocation and access, such as setting priorities, reserving the license for certain group or users, limiting the number of license that can be used, and you can also define the timeout. This is the overall layout of how FlexLM license manager works. So, what are the challenges we are facing in managing the engineering license? So, I'll give an example. imagine an engineer is starting their work and try to open a software. He get an error, no license available. So to avoid this error, what he or she will do, he will borrow the license. Whenever he get the license, he will try to borrow the license and keep it in his systems. Now the license is locked to the specific systems, right? The problem occur if this borrowed license is not in use and no one else can use this license. Okay, and it become worse when engineer borrow the license as well as using the network license. In these cases, they started consuming two licenses. Some cases are there when same user logged in into the another system without logging off the previous system when he was using it. Okay, now he's the same user is logged into the two system and using two license. Uh, User acquire the license and left it idle. He is not using it actually. Some feature organization has purchased, okay, for some specific task, but now the task is over, but no one knows and it is not using. So these are the challenges organization face uh, uh, in managing the software license for the engineering application. And it is very difficult to optimize the license users. License, organization over license in this to avoid this situation, right? Organization over license to avoid idling of engineer, right? Due to non-availability of license. Now we know the pain point. Let understand the server configuration and the license file. Engineering license server mostly work in three models. When buying a license, you need to specify which server model you are going to use. In the single license server model, the network license manager is installed on a single server. So license management and activity is restricted to this server only. A single license file represents the total number of license available in this server. So you have only one server and all the client server will connect with this server. So you need to have only one license and one license manager to manage this. So advantage of this one is because all the license management takes place on the single server, you have to just point of administration and one point of failure. Disadvantage is if this server fails, the software cannot run until the server is back online. The second licensing model is distributed license server. In this in this model, licenses are distributed across multiple servers. Okay, uh, and you need to have a separate license file for each server. Advantage for having this type of model is server can be distributed across wide area of network, okay, to support different location. The server do not need to be exit on the same subnet. If one server is distributed server fail, other server will continue running it and license will be available. If you replace a server in the distributed server pool, you do not need to rebuild the entire pool again. Disadvantage is if the server in the distributed server fail, the license on that server are unavailable. Okay, so if any of the server fail, you will not be able to access the license from that server. But other servers are available. You can ask, user can ping to that server and take the license. Third server model is redundant server model. These are having a three servers which are configured to authenticate license file. All three servers operate to format triad. The license server send a specific message to each of the server and at least two servers are running and communicating. You will get the license when at least two servers are running and communicating to each other. A query is formed when at least uh, a quorum will be formed when they are communicating, at least two servers are communicating with each other. The network license manager is have to be installing each server and have a separate license file, same license file in each of the servers. So you can see here, in the triad server concept, you will have one primary server and two secondary server. They used to call master server and slave server generally. Okay, so uh, the license file will have same license file has to be installed in all these three servers. Servers will be running continuously. If one server fail, other two will take the load, and one will become the master, other will become the slave. So advantage of having this type of server model, no? So if one server fail, all the license in that server will be able to access. User will able to access all the license file. Disadvantage is if more than one server fail, no license are available. And all the three server has to be in the same subnet and have a very good communication with network communication with each other. Major disadvantage is if one server fail and has to be replaced, we need to rebuild the complete set of server pool. This is the major disadvantage. So these are the three license server model available for the engineering software. While the choice of the server configuration depend upon the specific need of the organization, such as size of the user base, the criticality of the software, and the organization tolerance of downtime. Okay, so a smaller organization might opt for a single server due to simplicity, while larger organization with critical software application might prefer a redundancy and failover capabilities. Uh, Distributed server configuration are ideal for the organization with geographically dispersed team. I mean, they have a separate team in other geographical location. Okay, and that need to have a independent license management. So in that case, mostly organizations prefer distributed server configuration. Uh, Most of the larger organization prefer a tried server concept because of its failover and very redundancy. So what is license? So generally, if you ask about the theoretical part of license, is a license is referred as a authentication authorization that allow user or group to use or run a specific software application. It is a text file that contain information about the licensing term for the software. This file is usually provided by the software vendor and it required to enable to run the software itself. So it include details such as server or servers name in case of tried server or a redundant server configuration. Okay, if you have one server, single server model or distributed server model, you will have one server line uh, in the beginning of the license file. When you have a redundant server license, okay, you will have a three line with the different server name in the beginning of the license file. Okay. Uh, it have details such as the host ID, okay, processes what type of vendor is running, the name of the software, its version, number of the license, expiry date, and a signature that ensure the integrity and authenticating of the license file. License file have three critical components. Okay, so first is the server line, second is the daemon line, and other third one is the feature increment and the package line. So server line in the server line, it in the format of server and the server name, host ID, port, and port number. Okay. A server line is the host name of the server running in the license manager. If you are using a redundant write setup, you will see three server line in the license file, one for each server. Host ID is the unique identifier for the server, usually tied to the server like MAC ID, Composite ID, or Target ID. Port number is the TCP port number on which the license server listen for client request. The port number must be unique and not conflict with the other services running on the network. The second component in the license file is the daemon line. Okay, daemon line is the it specify a vendor daemon responsibility for managing the license of a specific software application provided by a particular vendor. Uh, it consists of vendor daemon name. It is the name of vendor daemon provided by the software vendor, just like I already told you earlier, right? ADSK Flex or PTC underscore D or SolidWorks underscore D. Second line is path to the daemon. It is the full path of the daemon executable file on the license server. And third, in this line is the optional. Okay, it is used to have a optional parameter like specifying the option file or a log file location. The third main line in the license file is the feature increment or package line. Okay, it defines the specific license available for the software application. These line contain the details of the license, such as the feature being licensed, the number of available license, expiry date, and any other optional parameter or condition specified by the software vendor. So feature line is used to describe the name of the software. Okay, just like in this case, you have uh, Tekla. This is line is for the Tekla software. Okay, so feature line describe the what software you are having the license. Okay, the name of the vendor daemon managing that license, the version of the product, the expiry date of the license file. If it expiry date is permanent, it means it will be written as permanent. If some expiry date is having limited validity, then you will find a date there actually. Increment line is similar to the feature line, but it is used to add more license or extended the license term for the existing feature. Okay, you can see here supersede DUP group USD. USD is user uh, uh, device. Okay, and you will have a user information. So lot of more details are there in the increment line as per the publisher or vendor requirement. Third line is package line. This is used to when a multiple feature are bundled together under a single license. Okay, it's allow the grouping of related feature that can be licensed as a package. So in this case, you are seeing we have a package of AutoCAD. Okay, is having all the version bundled together. It will support to run 12 version, it will support to run 11 version, 10 and 9. So all four version are bundled together for this. So these are the package. So now we understood the problem and we know how complicated it is to manage the engine software license. Moreover, now publishers are asking company to move toward the cloud licensing, subscription licensing, and the user-based licensing, which further complicates license management and evaluation of utilization and getting ROI. So, our tool OpenLM, okay, it help you in that case. Okay, it supports 70 plus license manager. It supports floating license, supports standalone license, named user, single user, node log, dongle license, as well as the cloud license, both for Autodesk and RES. It will track the real-time usage and generate a detailed usage report. It identify trends and help you to make informed decision about the software investment and help you in avoiding over provisioning. You can manage all the license activity for the license manager. Okay, just like start and stop of the server, updating the license file. It will help you in the license optimization through tracking the idle session, license harvesting, and prediction analytics. It has a very easy UI to create an option file. I already told you what is option file. Option file is a, you know, uh, to control the license usage, you will create a option file. So it will help you. Our tool will help you in creating an option file. Okay, for allocating and controlling the license accessibility. All right, so it's a time for question and answer. I'm excited to hear your question and do my best to provide helpful answer. If you have any question, please write. Okay, so I'm not seeing any questions, so I'll go ahead. Okay, if you want to stay updated on the latest software license and access management insight, I encourage you to subscribe with OpenLM newsletter. If you haven't subscribed yet, please scan the QR code or you can drop an email to info@openlm.com. These are the upcoming webinar going to be conducted in this month. You can simply go to our website openlm.com and register for the same. You can also find the link to the webinar page in the chat box. Thank you. Thank you very much for attending the webinar. Have a great day ahead.